Alright guys, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel. I'm out here with Edward and we're going to kind of take a little quick walk around on my trailer that I've been using. This is the Drifter trailer. It's from Drifter Trailers out of Rincon, Georgia. It's a kind of a teardrop style, but I don't call it a teardrop, I call it a square back because it doesn't actually slope in the back like the teardrops do. It actually goes square to the back, which I like better because I feel it gives you more usable space inside the cabin. But this one's a really basic trailer. It's something that Drifter Trailers contacted my channel about, and I told them I wanted a trailer that had very basic features so that people could get into it for an affordable price and then start modifying it out from there. So what you get with this trailer basically is you get a good solid steel frame all put together. You get the cabin, which is a 5x8 cabin, and it's big enough for you to have a queen size mattress inside, so plenty of room for sleeping, and there's lots of headspace inside. I'm 6'4" and I can sit in and completely set up and still have headroom above me. You got the door opens up, you know, access to the cabin. This particular trailer only has one door, but you can get them with two doors if you want, but I have a spare tire mount on the other side, so I just have a single door. But if you do want two doors, you can do two doors. But like I said, you got the whole cabin space inside, and the whole trailer itself, the cabin is made out of cabinet grade birch plywood, and then it's got a primer coating to seal it completely, and then it's got a hard rubberized coating. It's like Line-X or Rhino liner, but it's actually not that product. It's a product they tested that outperformed those two, and I'm sorry, off the top of my head I don't remember what it is. You do get two windows on each side with screens, big solid fender. I like using this as a table. It works really well, but it's also completely sturdy enough for you to stand on and do anything up on top of the trailer, like if you're trying to get any gear off the rack or anything. My particular trailer, I didn't have it come with a rack. I used some industrial unistrut, and I built the rack itself, and actually the maker of the trailer helped me build it. But I like unistrut because it's very universal, and I can get parts for it at pretty much any home improvement supply store, and it works great for building racks and everything. And then of course I got my 79-inch CVT awning, which is great. Comes off the side of the trailer, gives me cover when I'm coming out of the trailer if it's rainy. And then if I even need more space, like I'm going to be somewhere for a little bit and the weather's really bad, I have the option of the CVT awning room as well to put on it, so that way I can come out of the cabin right into a room that's big enough for me to stand in and have plenty of space to move around. The trailer has two heavy-duty stabilizing jacks in the back. You have a receiver in the back here. This main bar actually goes all the way through the trailer, so you can put a recovery point right here, and if you needed to, you can actually recover the truck and trailer together. Back here you have the main door, you have storage, a lot of teardrops. They have kitchen space back here, but again, like I said, this is a very basic trailer. It doesn't have a kitchen or running water or power at this point, but this gives me a lot of storage to put gear. You have storage down in here. There's a couple little drawers down in here, and I have like backpacking gear and different things like that I use from time to time. But lots of storage in the back. You have your regular tail lights, but he also added in reverse lights, so it's, I guess, typical that most vehicles don't come wired for your 7-pin to have the reverse lights working, but if you do wire your reverse lights into your 7-pin, then you got a good bright reverse light with the trailer. On the passenger side here, I have my road shower up here, and that works great for taking showers and stuff off this side of the trailer. Like I said earlier, I have tire mount on this side, so that's why I don't have a door. The tire mount's part of the frame, so it's very solid, and it's great to be able to have, you know, a full-size spare tire in it. The trailer comes with Mickey Thompson Deegan 38 tires, a steel wheel, 3,500 pound axle. It's the Dexter axle, and then it's also got shocks. One of the things that I think a lot of people that do Dexter axles, they do the leaf springs, but they don't add the shocks. And if you don't add the shocks, you have no compression or dampening control, and you just have an uncontrolled spring. So if you are going to do Dexter axles on a trailer, make sure you do the shocks. It will ride much better. I've actually had this trailer with the Dexters, and I've had another trailer that had the Timbren suspension, and in my opinion, this trailer definitely rides nicer than when I had the Timbren suspension. So anyways, and then you kind of come around again, we're back at the front. You have a whole cargo space up front here, which is nice. But I'm actually going to do some changes here, and this is kind of part of like the idea behind this trailer, is to kind of give you a base package to start with, and then you can kind of modify it to your own needs. So I'm actually going to build a nice little cabinet with some slides and things like that. That will be a future video, but yeah, we're going to do some work there. So just standard, we have the max coupler up front, you know, your jack, 7-pin connector. I like the fact that they use cables instead of just chains. That's kind of nice. I think that gives you guys a pretty good idea of how the trailer is. If you're curious, check out Drifter Trailers' website, see what they got. On this trip I have my Kia Telluride. I actually have two vehicles. I have an old 99 Ford F-250, which I use a lot on the channel. But then I also got contracted by Ron Tonkin Kia out of Gladstone, Oregon to drive around this Kia Telluride. It's a new model year for Kia this year. It's the 2020 Telluride. And then they took this to Wanderlust Overland and had Wanderlust Overland do an Overland build on it. So I'm just going to go over a few things. There's plenty of videos on the Telluride out there, so we won't go too much into the Telluride. I'm just going to show you guys what Wanderlust did to it for me. So starting right here at the front, Wanderlust built a custom bumper that, you know, from scratch, and then we have a Warren Xeon winch, the 10S, and then and of course all the Warren hooks, platinum hooks and everything, and that's really nice. Under the hood here, I'll pop the hood just real quick. Under the hood, we have the Arb Twin Compressor. It's got a switch right here so that I can turn it on and be able to air down, you know, so if I air down tires, I can air back up. I also use this for pressurizing my road shower on my trailer. The car actually comes standard with an 80 amp hour AGM start battery, which is really nice. And then we added a Blue Sea relay back to an AGM that's in the back of the car that I'll show you, or kind of give you an idea here in the back here in a minute. But that's pretty much everything we did under the hood. KMC wheels on there, they're 18-inch wheels. And then we went with Les Schwab open range all-terrain tires, which I use both on the car and the truck, and I really like them. In order to give us a little bit more space, Wanderlust had custom built spacer lift. So the spacers themselves, since there was nothing aftermarket for this car, they had to have a machinist create the spacer lift for it. Interior wise, there's not really too much going on in the front. I do have a brake controller switch for my trailer, and then there's a switch for the battery, so like I can either have the battery on, or, you know, as far as the dual battery system, and be able to switch between emergency and regular and completely off. So, you know, that's how that works. We have on top of the car though, we have the Rhino-Rack Pioneer system. You know, I have action tracks on there. I've got my high lift on there. We got a shovel. This is actually a Rhino-Rack shovel with the Rhino-Rack mounts. My spare tire is up on top. Again, using Rhino-Rack connections to keep it on there. That's working out really well. Coming around to the back of the vehicle, I built out on the interior. This is something that I did, is just, again, I'm a big fan of Unistrut. We talked about it on the trailer. I just used Unistrut to build a housing for my refrigerator and the fridge slide. So the fridge slide actually connects to this housing, and nothing is actually bolted or mounted to the car. It's all strapped in, so it can all come out, and the car can go right back to being normal with the seats up and everything. But I also built in a barrier in the back, so that way I can shove gear in here and put all I want, but I don't have to worry about it falling onto my dogs that go with me everywhere, because I've got basically the middle of the car kind of set up as a bed for the dogs. Underneath the refrigerator, right here underneath this access, which I can't pull up while the refrigerator, is where the dual battery is at. So this is where the battery, secondary battery is. It runs the refrigerator, which is my Snowmaster LP66. It's a dual zone refrigerator. I'm very happy with it. Be fridge and freezer, or freezer or fridge. It allows you to control everything. And just a really nice fridge, works really well. Underneath here, I have same area, but I have all my tools and anything I need if I, you know, for working on anything, if I need to, or fixing something, which, you know, sometimes happen when you're out. All that stuff is down there. And then I just got good storage on this side, which I just use for, you know, whatever. Sometimes I throw firewood back there. Sometimes it's, you know, extra groceries, whatever that I need, I can throw back here. Then they added the receiver. When we got this car, it didn't actually come with the tow package, so we had to add the receiver, and then we had to add the 7-pin. And a lot of people have asked about that because the car doesn't come with a 7-pin connection. You have to wire it in yourself if you want a 7-pin connection so that you can have brakes on your trailer. As far as that's concerned, I think that pretty much covers everything about the car itself. It's been working really well. It pulls the trailer exceptionally well. In fact, it actually pulls the trailer better than my Ford pickup truck does, and it gets better gas mileage doing it. So it's been a good setup, and I've really enjoyed getting it out and using it in this fashion.
I mean, there were decent sized rocks, and the Telluride and the trailer were able to just kind of traverse over them without any issues. So. Yeah.
I mean, there are some clearance issues in the very front, you know, like it's kind of low in the front. I wish I had a little bit more clearance up front for sure. But for 90% of what I do in the terrain that I go over, the Telluride has absolutely no issues, and the traction control actually works really, really well with this vehicle.
Your Ford, which is currently also having some build outs done.
Yeah, the Ford's is going to be having some stuff added to it here. As well, why I'm out using the Telluride. The Telluride is kind of a contract thing, but of course my Ford is my own personal vehicle that, I see myself continuing to work out, and make it more usable for this type of adventuring, for the foreseeable future.
Right on. And for those of you interested in, this, it's a constant process of modding and upgrading and overland adventures. Definitely check out Jason's channel, because he goes into that, and that's basically what his channel is about, is this overlanding and traveling and being outdoors. And I'll put the link to his channel in the description. It's an amazing process, and definitely something to look forward to if you're into the overlanding or car camping. Anything else?
I don't know that I have anything.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.